So, a month ago my first Android app came out, and you have no idea how hard it was to get the app nowed, how many posts I wrote, how many mails sent out, how many obstacles I faced, and on top of that, I'm not even sure how to feel about the outcome. But, let's rewind a little and let me tell this story. At the start of June, I started working on this app. Or rather, I started revisiting this app. I made around 3 months prior for an university exam. By the way, I got a very good grade with it. And I decided to return to it to make a better version for the Play Store. But what is MindBook? Well, the goal was to create a minimal notes/journal app. And I think I reached this goal. I made it customizable, I added the possibility to add image and a voice note to the entries, and I created a minimal interface that I really like. Although someone says too minimal, but hey, it's my app. And future update added more feature, but we will get to that. But now let's jump to the launch date, cause that's the story I want to tell today. It's the 1st of July 2021. And MindBook finally came out on the Play Store. And right at the start, well, it wasn't the best of the start. The concept of keywords and SEO were distant to me, and so my page didn't get much visit. So right away I tried a couple of methods. I made a product account page, but well, it didn't perform well. I made a Google Ads campaign, but my budget was, and still is, almost zero. So I made a little more than a week campaign, with a budget of $250 per day. And it went quite well, I gained 100 downloads this way. But I'm not financially capable to keep an ad campaign indefinitely, since it's quite costly. Yeah. So I contacted review sites and blogs, and I contacted a lot of them, like 50 to 100. And I never wrote so many emails in my life. I tried not to copy and paste each time, but to differentiate each email based on the recipient, because I thought this way I would have a better chance of getting a response, but almost no one replied to me, and the one that replied told me that yes, they would feature my app in one of their posts for $150 or even more. And as I said, I can't spend this much. The things that made me laugh is that I got the majority of this site from a list of websites that make free reviews. Evidently this list wasn't updated. In the meantime, I worked on the first update, which added the possibility to make unlimited length voice notes and added a security pin. This update revealed to be crucial since after it the downloads increase, and probably I should implement the security pin from the start, but I didn't thought it was such a crucial feature. And I also started understanding that the hard part is not to create an app, but it's to get it downloaded. Anyway, at this point I was basically desperate for downloads. So I decided to make some posts on Reddit. Some done well, other not so much. Since Reddit didn't work out as planned, I turned my attention to Quora and I started answering a lot of questions in both English and my native language. In case you haven't noticed, English isn't my native language, but is actually Italian. And I mean a lot of questions. I think I answered between 200 and 300 questions, trying to answer each time in a relevant, honest and unobtrusive way. Quora will prove to be a major download source for my app. Then a friend of mine with about 25,000 followers on Instagram offers to help me with an Instagram story. At first I refused, but in the end I gave in and around 300 people saw his story, and it generates a peak of about 115 downloads, as we can see on the graph. But then another problem struck me. You see, on the bottom of the homepage I inserted Google Ads from AdMob, which is a Google Ads provider for app, obviously making sure that it did not affect the use of the app in any way. I didn't expect to make any money from this app, but I was curious to try. Unfortunately, Google detects this sudden spike in users as bot traffic and decides to stop serving ads to my AdMob account for at least 30 days, but is still limited to this day. I tried to contact the support to explain the situation, but Google, in all of their wisdom, decided that only the big developer could contact the support via mail. The other have to resolve the issue by themselves. so I started looking for another ad provider, but it will take me some time to find one. In the meantime, around July 15, after having informed myself well about keywords and SEO, I made some changes to the Play Store page, and I created both a simple landing page and a demo video. I'm not sure how much this should help. The video got around 500 views on YouTube, and the app website got some traffic once in a while, but nothing major. However, these changes turns out to be a good move, and I noticed a decisive increase in the store visits, with a disappointing conversion rate, unfortunately. And it is also here that I realize how long the revision times of changes and updates to the Play Store page are, since the changes were only published on July 20th, along with an update that, among other things, allowed the users to change the app font, and this turned out to be a welcome update since not all users like the default font of MindBook. Given my bad luck with review sites, I tried to write to YouTubers, specifying that I'm not able to pay them, and I think I wrote to 30 of them, avoiding the big name obviously, knowing that they will never consider me, and a couple of those replied by saying that they will consider the app for a mention in their video. So far, only one of them did. At this point of the story, we are around the 21st of July, and I have obtained about 300 downloads, and I was exhausted. My day consisted of just writing posts on Reddit, answering questions of Quora, etc., and sending out emails to YouTubers, blog, and sites for all day, hours straight, non-stop. With the occasional dog walk, for which I'm sure my dog is grateful for. And I wasn't seeing much of a reward despite all this work. I was demoralized, but I carried on. And here began my ordeal with Mopub. You see, since my album account was still limited, and I didn't find any way to contact Google to resolve the situation. Yes, there is a community forum, but they don't respond to this kind of issue, since they want to answer are other devs and they can't help with this kind of problem. I decided to switch to Mopub as ads provider, which is managed by Twitter. So I went on their sites and created a new account, and just waited for the approval, which should come with no problem. And what? I don't have an app-ads.txt, but I have. Well, there must be an error. Let me write a quick email with a screenshot attached, and I'm sure my account will be approved right away. So let's send it, and the publish ready don't match, but they are clearly the same. Okay, let's write another mail with other screenshot, and this time they should approve my account. So let's send it, and this time I don't have a domain linked, even though they already verified that I have one in a precedent mail. Okay, that's enough. And I wrote a long mail with screenshot, but this time not attached, but in the text body, since at this point I was pretty sure that they don't open attachment, they just read the mail. So I sent it, and would you look at that, now my account is approved. A week later, my first correct approval request. And on top of that, during all this mail exchange, I wasn't even at home. I was in the city where I study to take a computer architecture exam. So, taking screenshots and writing emails with my small laptop and with poor internet connection isn't exactly the best, but hey, the exam went well at least. And we arrive at August. I'm still writing answer on Quora, and I'm still occasionally writing to some smaller review sites, but no luck so far. At the time of writing, MindBook got 480 downloads and gets 2 to 4 downloads per day. So, at the start of the video, I said that I'm not sure how to feel about all of this. What I was meaning? Well, on one end, I'm proud of myself. I managed to finish an app, publish it, and there are people using it, which is amazing. But, on the other hand, my goal was to reach 1000 downloads, and I didn't manage that. And on top of that, I don't really feel like all the hours passed writing emails, posts, etc. were really rewarded. At one point I even opened a Twitter account for MindBook, but I admit, I don't really know how to make an app profile grow, and I didn't really feel like investing much time in it. But who knows, I might return to it in the future. Plus, I managed to get only 5 reviews. one in English and the others in Italian. I tried to add the review this app button in the option and added a pop-up once used the app for a while in one of the updates, but it didn't work out, and I guess that having so few reviews didn't help my app. And that's the end of the story. So, what's now? Well, I will keep working on MindBook between university and other stuff. In fact, an update should come out in the next days, if it isn't already out for when this video comes out. And I'm already working on another. I will also keep trying to get MindBook and more known up, although I'm not gonna stay in front of the computer sending mails and stuff all day anymore. If you wanna try the app, you will find the link in the description, alongside with links to MindBook website, where it's possible to read the same story I told you here, demo video, which is on the same channel where this video will be uploaded, Twitter, and my mail, in case you have something to tell me or you want to suggest a feature for MindBook.
I think I might have spent my whole damn life in love with somebody, but hopelessly